was it's every night. He does it every night.
Oh yeah.
Every
Yeah.
night. Oh shit! I don't think.
Oh, I thought that was just with me, where he just joins the call and then there's nothing. He's just immediately talking about that.
Man, it was happening earlier with Stealth and a bunch of other people. It's like fucking hell.
All right, boys, it's none of us.
Every night.
I'm still gonna vote Trickies though.
I'm voting you, dude, for that, bro. I was gonna vote
know
you.
if I don't. I wouldn't be able to
I
do it
don't-
because I've never done Molly, so it'd probably make me uncomfortable. So
I understand.
you know what? I'm gonna vote you or
Why-
Ender.
Why am I getting voted?
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm switching my
because
vote
you're
to affirmed.
cussing me, I guess.
It's affirmed. It's affirmed. It's affirmed.
Vote near.
Not me, bro. What the hell?
You gotta vote someone.
Wait, no, it's Ender. Trust.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
It was trickies. Trickies.
It's me. We all had the same answer. Wait, don't.
Every night.
Broke ass nigga. On the high
this, dude?
sevens.
What is that? Okay, it's Ender.
What is
It's Ender, boys.
What is this question? What the
What?
fuck
A
Butts
refreshing
chug? What is a
What
butts
the fuck
chug?
is
Is
that?
that
I
an
mean,
animal?
chug, right? So like that counts.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this means.
I think he's
It's
had
Ender.
a refreshing butt chug at one point, and he's
Well, I'm not
lost.
gonna lie, Ender. If you aren't the faker, I actually am gonna block you for that.
Dude, what the freak is a butt
Do
chug?
you even know what it is?
What the freak
No,
is
near.
Yeah, it's when you shove beer up your ass, right? To get drunk faster.
Yeah, okay. That was, dude.
like what the frick was that question? That's so stupid.
I'm saying, dude, I want to do the other faking it. This one's retarded. This is stupid questions.
This one is stupid.
I'm
Still don't get this game.
This is the normal
it's like-
version too, not the spicy version.
The one person
Jesus
doesn't
Christ.
their screen, and they either have to raise their hand or not raise their hand, and everyone else has a prompt, and you'll see the prompt, and then the one that doesn't have a prompt is a faker, and they're trying to blend in.
Yeah. I mean, there's different categories. It's not just raising your hands, like, hold up amount of fingers.
Ender
Looking at
loves the
someone.
pointing one.
Yeah, Ender always picks this one. What the fuck?
This is good.
We haven't done the emoji one yet in this one.
Yeah, but I can't really pull that off.
Well, it's gonna give us some, right?
Wait,
What?
Oh shit.
Why's the party rock camo at the bottom?
What?
It's probably me.
Definitely Ender. He voted himself too. Come on.
No, dude. Like actually, like I've definitely got away with the most. Like I know that sounds crazy,
I'm gonna
but
say it's affirmed.
Yo, this is you near, bro. What the fuck?
Why do you
Asshole.
think that's the case though? Like why?
Instead of voting for me, it put away the intention, bro.
I think it's one of you two.
I think it's affirmed, and I'm not changing my vote, so you better go unaffirmed.
Sure.
I've only noticed that if I'm displaying as DSP.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, bro, you got to pick that character. It looks like DSP.
Bro, I lose it instantly.
That's
I
really
know.
funny you picked up
I
on
just
that.
know.
All right. We don't. Is it the last round now? With the.
I think so.
I think there's one more.
Dang, I suck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
I'm
one
gonna
more,
pick the
and then
emoji one because you haven't done that one yet,
No,
right?
I can't.
If you pick the emoji one, I will unfriend you. on
No, I'm
Discord.
on the
Okay.
phone.
What is
Yeah,
thumb
I picked the
shot? What's
emoji
that?
one. What is this?
I don't know which one thumb is. I think it might be the
Oh
finger.
well, I didn't pick. Fuck.
I hope it's not. Yes.
God
Why?
damn
I
it.
don't want this one again, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick the emoji one.
I literally can't do it. Like I'll like tell you what face I do, I guess, because I can't type it.
Well, no, it's gonna give you them, I think, because this game's different where you can actually do it in game.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I guess true.
Okay, I know it's not Tricky's.
Yeah.
It's probably Ender.
What? How? You
Yeah, that's years in the make.
Fucking
Yeah,
idiot, bro.
yeah, true.
It's Ender,
I'm
bro.
going here.
Affirmed had the best answer, yeah.
yeah, that was
And that's the answer. Why are you picking me? No, no.
I'm
it's
not
you.
voting anybody, bro.
It's so easy.
Let's see.
It's free.
wait, vote near so we can figure something out. What?
Fuck that.
Either.
It makes the game boring. I don't
What?
have enough people to do that.
Dude. What if it was near and we could have just won?
No, it's
Well, then we'll win
definitely
on the next
Ender.
round.
Probably seduce a member of the clergy? What the?
Yeah, it's definitely me, bro.
me and Affirm picked Ender.
Why? The frick even is a clergy? What the frick is that?
Really, this is a
I
religious
still think
number.
it's Ender from last
Yeah.
round.
No, I'm not voting.
Why is
Dude,
that a bad
what?
thing? Why is this a bad thing?
Not voting because it makes so we don't figure out things. Like you can figure out who it is quicker.
I already figured it out.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Dude.
Hey, don't react. Don't react to the prompt. Don't react. Easy.
Dude,
Tricky's wins. Tricky's pointing to himself. I like that. I respect the fuck out of that. I would have done the same thing. What the fuck?
It's Ender.
Whatever.
everyone voted themselves besides me.
I'm voting Affirmed or
Ender.
it's Ender. Yeah, what?
What do you mean it's me? We're not supposed to pick ourselves.
You wouldn't have picked me.
Yeah, absolutely. You have
Maybe
to
you
pick
would've,
yourself.
but
Yeah.
Dude, come on.
I think it was tricky, bro.
Like I'm telling you,
What?
like
I
from
made
round one,
sensible
this guy
answers
has
on
been
every one, dude.
weird.
I had sensible answers on every single one. Wait, why would it?
Yeah.
Why were you telling us to vote people then? What?
I don't know.
It's good.
I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. I was right 3 times in a row. That's crazy.
Dude, please don't make me the faker again. Please.
I hope it's me, dude. I love this.
Dude, why?
どうしようかな。こうしよう。あ、でも結構効くね。あ、でも結構効くよ。あ、ジオンが。パーズが欲しいよ。
This is the best round I've ever had.
This is retarded. Doors ranked. Answer.
Ranked top on bros.
I don't know.
Tennis?
Volleyball? Tennis?
Okay, volleyball I didn't think of, but tennis.
Volleyball was the best one to think of, I think.
Yeah.
I
Tennis
think
is good too,
does
though.
Probably
I,
wrestling
just-
too.
I don't know why I was thinking about like football and shit. Like,
dude,
tennis
No,
was
because-
fun.
The rest of the
don't
answer.
vote
Um,
anyone. I want to get all the
yeah,
questions.
don't vote
They're
anyone.
funny.
I think it's affirmed or near for sure.
I think it's
Actually, yeah,
Okay.
tennis. Nah.
Dude, wait
Tennis
till my
is-
answer.
The women's
You'll
tennis
still
scene
have
is
to
really
put
good.
10.
The women's tennis when they're screaming. It's
Yeah.
wild.
What the fuck?
How is it
Dude,
tennis
okay.
racket?
It's affirmed. Okay, I changed
Not
my mind.
me.
I think it's near.
I think Inner's
Stop.
answer makes sense because he
No,
already
my-
said tennis was
my
sexy,
answer's
so tennis
fine.
racket makes sense. And we both had the same answer. I think that counts
Yeah.
for something. I just picked something random, but I didn't know what the fuck else was. I don't know if Firm's answer is kind of stupid, and Nier's answer
My
also.
answer's
You
sick,
telling me
bro.
women
What do you
don't fantasize
mean?
Guys about the baseball bat, like
What's so
okay.
sexy about a baseball bat?
I don't know.
What about
like,
It's
the
a
what about the
stick.
I
piss
guess,
guy, dude?
but-
He's so cool.
Dude, this final question, I'm so curious what everyone put.
This
That vibrator looks like the things that you shove up your nose when you're ill.
what? Oh, shut! Nothing I can do. Yo, what the fuck?
Benjamin,
It's
go
Nier,
to bed.
The worst answer was near.
Yeah, I'm going Nier, dude. It's Nier. Oh shucks! Like what?
My answer was fine. What?
No, you
Dude.
don't even stream that.
Nowhere near
Flair should have
Every
been there
other
for
answer
Clip
was better
Flash,
than
bro. That
ours.
shit was so funny.
Benjamin, go to bed.
Yeah, I can't
Benjamin
think
go
about
to bed is
myself.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
No way you were the
Can you
faker. I
pick your
definitely
color in this?
confirmed.
you can pick your character.
Dude, I thought it was
Which
a
is your
first.
color, I think. Yeah.
Every night.
Dude, really?
Would you shout after fumbling the winning goal? you should have said nothing I could do. You should have done. If you would have done that, you would have been so good.
I know.
That would have been
What the
so
frick?
I
funny.
still won.
What?
Wait, so the
Why?
winner just gets to be a nudist? That's a pretty good win condition. I like that.
Dude. Hi.
Bro, this is so stupid.
You can
Alright.
smack his ass.
Nothing I can do.
Is that the end of Jackbox?
Yeah.
I guess so.
I really wanted to play Survive the Internet, but I don't think there are enough people.
I mean, if Fleur wants to play, then we can play Survive.
No, I think everyone's getting off.
So,
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
I didn't. Yeah.
Because I'll play one more. Like,
Brother. Yeah, I need to go to bed.
alright.
Was EXE not playing?
He was gonna. He told us he would, and then he just deafened and never undeafened.
He like
Probably
fell
fell
asleep or
asleep.
something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he did fall asleep. But-
Alright.
Same song on Spotify. Some
Fell asleep in
hours.
Discord. No, that's depressing.
Bye, guys.
Alright, so
Ciao.
GA.
Right.
Joe.
I gotta go.
sucks. Damn.
You had to talk for 3 hours about?
Huh?
You got, I said you had to talk 3 hours just about him?
Oh yeah. I mean, kinda. Yeah. Stealth joined, and then what's it called? He was talking about like finances and stuff. He
Alright.
wanted help to help him with finances, but every sentence was something about his life. He's like, oh, he's got to bring up everything, like go in depth. I'm like, holy shit.
Okay.
That was fine, whatever. But someone else would join, and then it would be all over again. Like I'd come back after 20 minutes being gone, and then he would just go through it again. And it's like, holy shit, how many times can you talk about this? I'm just like, fuck, man.
A bit too open,
Yeah. It's like I I don't even think we were talking about anything, but he was talking about anything but himself. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's
get
always when you get into a conversation with him, he's only talking about himself.
And I'm not trying to VC like that. I mean, it's fine to do that every once in a while if
Right.
you need it. But like, holy shit, it's every night. It's every
Yeah.
Every night.
fucking
I'm definitely
conversation.
taking a break from him. First time.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I went to a VC with him, and then yeah, he wanted to talk about his shit.
And it's like he's kind of self-absorbed because he's like he thinks he's the only person that needs help, right? It's just like man, it's kind of I don't know.
only
kinda
person in the
ridiculous.
world.
Yeah.
Nah, it's the fact that I joined VC and it's just we joined VC and we're just talking about what'd you do, did you do anything, and then I'll ask you the same thing back. But it's reciprocal. There's none of that with him. He's not interested in anything that I'm doing or anything like that. Yeah, it's just like what the fuck. Okay. So. And it's not one of those things where he just says something, this is going on, this is going on, just brief summary of what's going on before we get into conversation. It's just I'm just not talking. Okay, you just have the bat on. I've got my hands open. Hey, you can pass it over here, and he just runs past me in the relay. What the fuck? What's happening? So
He runs past you like that.
Every night.
every night, yeah, that's every day for me. So I get bored of it because also too he's just not able to have a conversation about a lot of stuff. So after we're done talking about what he's talking about, we're just not talking about anything. But the VC's just silent. I'm just going. I have to come up with the topics to talk about. And right at that point, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this. I'm fucking out.
Right. Mhm.
A little bit annoying talking to him. So if I'm not wanting to do any fighting game stuff, I'm not talking. You were in VC the whole time since I left?
It was on and off. I drove down to Walmart and
Oh,
got
right.
some stuff, and I was gone for like probably 30 minutes. Came back. Yeah,
Right.
I was in VC most of the time since you left.
Since you love that.
There was like an hour that was just me and Nier after EXE fell asleep. We were waiting for everyone to get
Mhm.
on because we were planning to play Jackbox, and we didn't get enough people to do like the bullshit. But um, yeah.
Right. Did you end up talking about the?
Nah, because Ender Ender only had got on when we were playing, when we were about to play. So we
Right. So I didn't
it
miss
was only like
anything.
an hour. Yeah, you didn't. It was only an hour, maybe an hour and a half ago he got on.
Damn. He just
He stayed
comes
up
on
way
so
late
late.
last night. Yeah, he stayed up way later last night. Like maybe a whole hour and a half later than right now. So it's just unfortunate timing, I guess. I guess he wanted to go to sleep earlier tonight because he had a long day, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, he has to work on Saturday too.
That's tough for him.
Normally he doesn't have to, but yeah, they're making him. So why would you guys say knockoff?
That's a parody of LTG. Funny made a parody of LTG, or made their account a parody of LTG.
What?
And got blocked.
You blocked.
His cognitive was crushed, to precise. It is. Found some cool disco art.
Oh, nice. What do you
Yeah.
use? Do you just use Twitter?
Reddit.
I use Pinterest.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Pinterest is really good. I love Pinterest.
Use Twitter, Reddit, and Tumblr.
I don't use any of those.
Right.
I used to use Twitter, but not much. Or just post about videos and stuff, and then sometimes I'd scroll through it. But yeah, I stopped doing that pretty quick. I don't even have it anymore. Firm, did you end up making a sandwich?
No, no.
Or you didn't get the time to.
Forgot about it. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
do
we
it
should
right
go do
now.
that. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Damn, that sucks. If he'll be on in the morning, or he should be. He might end up talking to other people or something, but yeah, he'll be on probably like 8 hours, 9 hours from now. So we could probably talk about it then.
Hey, what'd you
If you're
say?
still there. I was saying Ender will probably be on like 7, 8 hours. He usually gets on in the morning too, but
Oh,
he
really?
might talk to other people. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a chance. So we'll see. But
Hmm.
yeah, we could talk about it then. I might not be up, but
Uh-huh.
I'll probably just be waking up around the time. So we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, let me I'm probably gonna get ready for bed soon. I got a headache.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Should talk about that for 3 hours.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, I agree so.
And then invite other people in the call and bait them to talk about it too.
Oh,
do
you were
that.
doing he was doing Soul's tier list.
EXE?
Yeah.
When? What? Where do you see that?
335. For me it's 355. After you said the lag problem is completely gone.
Oh. What's
in the
he?
chat.
Oh yeah, I see that. I didn't even process that. We were doing like a jam or something for a little bit, like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something. And then that was when he fell asleep.
Mm. Xbox
But he was on the
Live.
call. I don't understand. DS1 ER Demon Souls.
I was talking to stuff.
DS3's the worst. Tim, what the fuck?
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, he's talking to Stealth about finances and stuff.
Yeah, I know that. I told him to ask stuff about finances.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I
And it's
wonder
like,
what
man,
Stealth
Stealth
said.
does not know you at all, and he's
Mhm.
just opening up about everything. He's like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, fucking hell, man, Jesus. I mean, some of it was in context where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, you have an alcohol problem. He's like, he's like, I have an alcohol problem. He started talking about that. He's like, but it was related to, he was relating it to the finances. Like, yeah, I probably have to buy that every week or something.
Alright, okay.
But he didn't have to go in that much detail.
I went into excruciating detail, I'm guessing.
Welcome to competitive
Yeah.
Mario Kart Wii.
It's funny because I was telling him, yeah, he should be more succinct when you talk about shit because most people don't want to hear that.
Welcome to competitive
Not everyone's your
Kart Wii on
therapist.
Retro Rewind. 12 players are matched up against each other and choose between a solo or team event. Depending on how many points are scored as a team will determine the amount of elo gained or lost after the event. My goal is rank 1 by the end of the season, even though I'll have to learn an extra 130 tracks that will be changer my
Starting off strong with Waluigi.
You wear pajamas?
Waluigi.
No.
You just go naked?
Sometimes, yeah. Just wear underwear or whatever. Do you wear pajamas?
Half the time.
Honestly, I want to wear pajamas. It's just sometimes it's too hot.
Right.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like being naked. It's fun. If I'm
I like
cold,
sleeping naked, honestly, when it's cold.
Oh man, yeah,
Uh-huh.
that wasn't good.
oh, when
yeah, I
it's
feel it.
cold. Interesting.
That guy fucking died.
Yeah. Whenever you sleep in like a cold bed, it feels really nice.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Oh no.
That dude just
Oh.
took it for you. Wait, what?
Okay, well they both got blued.
Did the blue split?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Activity.
People learn turns
5C's activity. Uber Eats. I didn't know we did that.
What?
Super duper
You can
hard
put that on
to get
Discord?
fucking right.
Oh, I'm not getting
What?
yes, I'm so happy.
Uber Eats is your activity on Discord? What?
No, his finances. I'm looking for the chat.
Oh.
Trick is key.
Yeah, I've ingrained it in my muscle memory to like be able to download.
I didn't know they
it
posted it.
online.
Mm.
You know, it's-
Oh wait, he posted this. I see.
NP.
That's really funny that he just posts like his money and stuff
I mean, you're still
in the savings account. It's really funny.
I
Most
bet
people
that's
don't
his
really do that.
mum. Because his name is BP. And
No, you're good.
that one is called NP, same last name. And the first name is Nicola, so I'm guessing he's paying off his mum.
How did that one? How did that one work?
And paid for Uber Eats.
You should have been sent to the wall.
Probably should have been something
Lagging
like that.
hardcore, ah!
No second shock. Let's go.
Oh, that's picture Danny Missouri.
Your teammate's getting second. Massive first race.
That is.
Oh yeah, I didn't even look at that. I was asking him because he was on a walk,
Dude, your teammate came
and I was
Mhm.
driving,
fucking
and I was like, yeah, you should send a picture of like your outside area because I've never seen it.
You're running threes. I just realized you're running threes.
So he sent that. Yeah, that's a really good picture. I don't have anything like that near me. It's
Hey,
really cool.
Jaren.
Yo, what's up?
Mm-hmm. How you doing?
Cough is lingering. So it's annoying. I've had this cough for like maybe a week and a half. It was like a lung infection and it's like really fucking annoying. So my voice is
okay.
fucked, but
Hold on,
Overall.
forget everything that you're talking about. I got to tell you about this thing that happened for the next 3 hours.
okay, epic.
Basically, my mom, there was like this alien that came down to our house and they just started raping my mom. and I got a headache, and then my neighbor's house blew up. I don't even know why. Everything's just going wrong.
This is too
Yeah,
much of
so-
an info, though.
Crazy. What the fuck?
That sounds like an Animals plot, actually. Now that I think about it. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, wait, what? Animorphs?
Yeah, Animorphs. It's the books where you see the human or the teenage kid turning into a animal, and
Oh, it's like Ben 10?
well, no, because it's actually so it's an alien invasion that's happening. And they end up turning into, they find the ability from this other alien before it dies, that they can turn into a animal.
Oh, I've
and
seen this
multiple
meme before,
animals.
yeah.
And if they stay permanently in a body for too long, they start turning into the animal. They'll just permanently stay as the animal. They'll get forged as the animal. And so they're trying to stop this alien invasion. And what it ends up happening is that they're like secret superheroes, but you know, eventually they have to tell everyone, and the whole world goes into war. And they're just, this is a kid's book, by the way. They go into war, and then they're just warring, and they're doing, the characters, you know, completely change because it's war. It's kind of what happens. And yeah, they get crazy PTSD. They're sacrificing themselves, turns into an actual war story, which is really funny. I've never read it, but I've heard summaries on Animorphs. And and I've seen Animorphs books before in our bookshelves, and I couldn't believe that's what it turns into, an actual war story with actual trauma and everything. But the concept is just, oh, turn into an animal. That's really cool. It's really funny.
No, but sorry, I had to do the EXE bit.
I know.
Continue talking about your cough. If you had more to say.
I don't want to talk about it. I fucking hate it. I can't watch anything that's too funny because I start like hacking up shit. Like it triggers me to like start coughing. So I watch like American Dad or like fucking like mildly amusing shit to like keep myself occupied. It's awful. I hate it so much. It's the worst.
Bunch of like a whole fan base.
American Dad, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Family Guy.
Nah, yeah. I honestly like I've watched both all the way through.
What?
Because yeah,
Jesus.
and when I was younger, especially, it was on Netflix. Like I would just have it running in the background. Like when I was like 13, I was like listening to South Park and like playing zombies. Like I've always done that, where it's like I'm like at the same time like watching stuff and like playing. Anyway, but yeah, like American Dad better. It's just better, and like it's a better story, more funny. Like there was a good episode I saw, and again, this is where I'm at. I'm like, it's actually not that bad. Like that's how fucked I am this last week. But it's called like The Clearview Motel, and it's kind of like a psychological thriller, and it has like themes about surveillance and like peeping and like losing yourself, and there's like a time travel element. Like it's pretty creative, and like Family Guy's like an edgy teenage like he throws Meg down the stairs kind of show, right? Like there's not usually like a psychological thriller element to any Family Guy. So yeah, American Dad better. I
always thought that Family Guy was the show that was wannabe adult. Wait, that teenagers tried to do.
I'm not a kid anymore, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a kid anymore,
I'm
bro.
fucking 14 now. I'm like an adult. Like
yeah, absolutely embarrassing. I think that's probably some of the most dull parts of many people's lives. I can't say mine because I was always just I was still playing Pokemon, doing a video game. I probably didn't grow up fast enough, to be honest. I'm probably delayed, but yeah, other people trying to want to be adults. That was just everyone wearing black and white, no color. What happened to the Thomas the Tank Engine backpack? You know,
yeah, what the fuck, bro?
Why is it all?
Funny enough, those are probably like they're probably like $200 on eBay now in collector's items. Funny enough, like you know, like the.
Wait, one of my friends brought a Thomas the Tank Engine backpack, and like when we were like 16 still. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, when that becomes hip again, that's when it's cool. I like that. So your voice sounds quite nice when it's off.
Ruined.
Yeah. Well, you say ruined, I
Ruined.
say it
Through
sounds
coffee.
nice.
I should smoke more. I should smoke more.
You
Yeah,
sound
Nice.
take one out of
the
EXE's
suave.
book, one page.
Suave.
Yeah, the suave smoking man.
Sophisticated.
Yeah, I like the deep voices. I enjoy that. I don't know why though. Why is that? Oh, by the way, we're talking to this military guy. You might know military guys more, but he was saying that this guy used to collect anime figures, just for context. And he was saying that he doesn't. It seemed like he had a bunch of repressed stuff about anime where we're talking about Japan. Because I'm saying, oh, what place would you like to do a
deployment.
Would you say?
Like a deployment or a tour, like where would you like
right,
to?
exactly, yeah. And he was saying that a lot of people like South Korea and Japan. I was saying, oh, why is that? And he was saying, oh, South Korea is where you get demoted because people do a lot of drinking, big party culture over there. And he was saying, I just don't get the appeal of Japan. And I was thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? And so he starts talking about things about Japan, but they're not things about Japan. Because when I think, okay, deploying to Japan, you have really great public transport. You have a completely different foliage, so the scenery is going to look quite different. You can walk everywhere because the zoning rules. You can just walk to your local corner shop or whatever. That's going to be really close to you, rather than going into a car. That would have been different for him too, because he's from America, and that's just more of how things are planned over there. So that's what I was thinking. Just what would a normal person think,
like
right?
to live there. Yeah,
exactly. That's what you're thinking when you're moving there. But he's talking about cherry blossoms, and he brings up anime too, and I'm thinking, what the fuck has this got to do with anything? This has nothing got to do with anything to do with living in Japan. I mean, maybe because you just have access to anime, but I think you just have access to anime wherever you are. Maybe if you're a physicalist and you want to collect all that sort of stuff, but I don't think that's what most people are thinking about when they're moving to places.
No.
Right. So I don't know, but it was not. He says he asked the question, and it was a rhetorical question. It was not out of any curiosity. He says, I don't get why people really like this. It felt more of a dismissive sort of thing, where he's dismissing the people that liked it. But he said this one interesting line. He said, "Oh, anime." I curiously asked the question, "Wait, you don't like anime? I thought you did, because you used to collect figures." And he was saying, "No, it's really feminine."
What? What?
He said the
That
country was
sucks,
feminine
dude.
too.
Oh my god! So he was broken. He got broke by the military. They fucked him up. Like, that's crazy.
And religion.
I
Nice,
think it
good
was
for him.
prior to him joining the military. I think
That probably made it worse with the feminine stuff for sure.
Yeah, that probably made it
fucking man,
worse.
bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was gonna say, this is Ender that we're talking about, by the way, Niraj.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you remember him? Yeah, he came back the other day. Been gone for years, and
Why?
He abandoned
Why
all
did he
his
come back?
Oh, do you know the story of why he abandoned his friends? Supposedly.
No, but I also don't know why he then came back. Also, so
Start from the beginning.
I'm missing a lot of lore.
well,
Missing
yeah,
a lot of
because
lore.
he just came back like 2-3 days ago, so almost 3 days ago at this point. So
Jakey's could probably say it better than I could.
I mean, yeah, he got into a relationship back in 2022, which is when he started getting distant from us. And I guess in hindsight now, we know that that relationship is really bad, really toxic, and I guess his girlfriend, from my understanding, didn't want him talking to us because she saw us as his anime friends, and she didn't want him to have anything to do with anime. Because she correlated it with bad stuff, like correlated it with like sexual stuff, and like hentai. So
Dumb bitch.
which is kind of stupid, but
Yeah,
that's
it
my
depends.
understanding at least.
Depends what Ender was watching. If he was watching some deviant stuff, okay, but I don't
he
think
was,
he was.
He was actually. He was.
Really? I've seen him
She
engage.
caught him doing it.
A
So
little
like,
bit.
that's something we knew from back then.
Right.
And she got really mad at him for that.
Really? What did
Um,
she catch him watching?
yeah.
Just basic
It was
hentai or
reading
just
hentai. I don't know,
oh
but he was
doujins
reading it, I
or
guess. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, so she correlated that with that, and I think that's like a big part of the reason why he suppressed
what?
anime.
And he couldn't. Oh, so he
That makes
couldn't
sense,
even back it. Oh yeah, I like reading this. Stimulating for me sexually. I guess because he would have been younger. He's younger than me. He's a year younger than me, and that would have been 2022. I would have been 21, 2021. So he would have been, yeah, it would have been what 19, 2019, 1920 even 2019 by the way.
Yeah, 1920.
And
Back in my days.
maybe you're just not as confident in your sexuality. So
Yeah, and probably worried about being judged and fitting in. Like that makes sense. Like,
all right.
but
What did I miss?
that feels kind of weird. Like, so he's saying like the relationship was toxic, so he couldn't hang out with you guys. Like that was and now he's out of it, and so he's hanging out again.
That's
Like,
my understanding of it. He hasn't
okay,
told us or he hasn't told me the full picture, but yeah, he's out of it as of a few weeks ago, and he contacted me a few weeks ago. I just didn't know it was him.
Hmm.
So,
I didn't know it was
yeah.
that linked to the relationship. That's incredibly weird. That he would disconnect from all his friends because of that relationship. Because
and then I was
weren't-
like, I'm back.
right.
And the
You
worst
you
part about it
definitely
was
not.
him seeing us as the anime friends. I'm just like, man, why didn't you even tell her that we're just more than that? It's like, that's so stupid. That was the part that I didn't understand the most.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way we were portrayed?
And
I mean, maybe that's how he saw you. Like maybe like he would portray you. Maybe that's how she was portrayed by him because that's
No, he told
what
me
he
that.
said.
That's
like,
what it was.
yeah. So
But
well, you're definitely more than anime friends if he's contacting you after years of not talking to you.
oh, definitely. But like maybe
spend-
that's how we saw it at first. Like he was like, oh, like she's asking about it. He's like, oh, well, I guess that's what they are. Like that's, like in some way he was convinced of it too. Like you can't. It's not like she was holding his like phone and being like, deleting people and blocking people. Like he was convinced by her. He was convinced by her of something. So I think that's interesting. And now he's coming back not like an anime. Like interesting.
and yeah, I think her and her parents would survey his phone or something. I don't know about that, but something like that going on.
That's
which was
wild.
Really weird.
Poor guy. That
I
fucking
found out about
sucks.
the hentai. So
That fucking sucks.
yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's terrible. What the fuck?
Yeah, that seems an incredible invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
Or what? If you can't trust the other person, that's done.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
That's cool. He's black though. I mean, is he?
We'll
I
see.
saw Ender, and then I saw a guy named Army Guy. Are they the same
That's
person?
That
Army
same
guy.
person.
Okay, gotcha.
His name
But I
is
also saw the
what's
Ender
it,
account,
Pickle-
right?
Death Pickle or something. Death Pickle.
Mm.
But yeah.
I'm quite incredulous to be honest that he shows his face again because I mean I'm interested in talking to him.
What's that mean?
Definitely, yeah.
But you when you come here, right, man, you're on your. If that was me and I, throw out my friends for, something that was, to me, that's psychotic. The whole anime thing where you get into a relationship and your friends are kaput. To me, that's disgraceful. It's very, very much disgraceful. And it's probably a really weird way of looking at relationships too, because I always look at, you have different relationships in your life and they mean different things. You don't just have, one. And I think this is just a male problem in general. I noticed this with more male types too, where their romantic relationship is their everything. That's their alpha omega. That's the person that they tell everything. They don't tell anyone else anything. It's their number one, and all their other friends are sort of, they're not number two. They're number 45 or something like that. In a way, in terms of the things that they would express to their friends. Maybe they'll express their hobbies, but they wouldn't express any sort of vulnerability or anything like that. And that way of associating is negative, and it could lead to those types of behaviors where you're very happy to cut your other friends off because you're putting all your eggs or apples in that basket of that relationship.
Now you're 1-2.
And then you haven't like anchored yourself to the other ones by getting emotionally close, right? Like you both, like your friendship is both brittle with the person because you haven't opened up, and then also you put all your eggs in the basket with the woman. So it's like, well, I have to pick, right? Yeah, that I see what you're saying. That's true. I've definitely seen that.
Not the worst to be in first.
And I bet I would
Being gay is
wonder-
better. I'll just say, I mean, it's just better to be gay. You know, I think this is where you're going. I'm skipping a couple steps, but
Uh-huh.
I think that's where we end up with this, is that being gay is better. Like that's
Cool.
You're sounding like Elastic right now.
I mean-
I definitely thought about not being gay. It's not easy to become gay. Right. But in terms of the gay relationships, I definitely thought about it where gay relationships just seem cooler to me. In terms of, maybe Calvin made me think about it a long time ago, where he says he likes women sexually but men romantically. I was thinking about that. I was thinking,
ooh, interesting.
it was just really, I was thinking,
That's a really interesting way of saying it. Whoa, I hadn't thought about that.
right, that's what he told me, and I was thinking, yeah, I like women sexually, but I also like women romantically. But if I had a man, just because I'm in a sausage fest, I'd mostly just talk to men exclusively. That should, and I get along with men way easier in terms of the things that I relate to. There are shortcuts I can use to start a conversation, and you just know what I'm talking about. Where my analogies are based off in my experiences, which a lot of them are on the internet and also gaming. So when I bring up something, I go, oh yeah, you know, we got really lucky. Yeah, it was like a one-hit trade, basically. Like, you basically got 5 wops out of 1 box. You just know what I'm talking about. There's no need for additional explanation. That's a really good, this is one where the XE told me. That's a really good vignette.
Ooh, vignette, yes.
Vignette? I can't believe.
Yes.
I thought vignette was just the shadow, because I only knew it from editing. I didn't know it was a detailed explanation, detailed but brief explanation. I think that's what it means.
I've always heard in the context of like a movie, of like a scene being like a vignette of something. Like it's and yeah, that makes sense. Like it's a short but detailed explanation. It's like that scene's a vignette of something. Like it's
I always imagine that to be the shadow. So what the fuck? I had a completely different imagination. Imagination of that. But yeah, I always just preferred talking to men, but I never felt romantically inclined to men. Just I prefer talking to men. It's easier for me to talk to men. So that sucks, you know. Should have been game.
Skill issue, bro. Skill issue.
Yeah.
Or you can talk to Goddess.
I'm good, my brother. Definitely attracted to women. So
I honestly kind of respect Ender for coming back and being willing to like say all this stuff, because like I have had it happen where it's like I've lost friendships, and like just the social anxiety of like showing my face to them after I basically kind of ditched them. Like I just couldn't do it. I honestly like it honestly takes strength to like come back and say all this and
Dude,
try to reconnect. Like I respect that. I just want to throw that out there. Like, yeah.
He apologized every sentence whenever we first called back. Whenever he called me, he was apologizing like every sentence basically.
Apologizing for what though?
Everything.
Right.
Everything that he could possibly apologize for, he was apologizing for. I was like, man, you don't got to do all that. I kept saying that, and you just kept doing it. So I was like,
I'm not convinced. I'm super not convinced. I don't.
Among Us.
I don't know what your conversations look like, but just when I was in the call with them, I'm just not convinced. I don't believe in the word sorry. Sorry doesn't mean anything. I think sorry is a word that when you're very uncomfortable in a dynamic, sorry is an easy way to cool off that sort of confrontational feeling you have. You know, let's say you're in a friend group and you get into a spat with somebody and you don't want to deal with that uncomfortable feeling of being in that dynamic. You can just say you're sorry, but you don't have to address anything. It's sort of just a really easy way to break off that uncomfortable feeling. And I notice a lot of people do that. I noticed this with Yezi. I learned this with Yezi specifically, where he will say sorry, but he doesn't know what he's saying sorry for. He's not addressing the underlying problems I have with what he's doing, so he just repeats the same behavior again. He's not learned anything. It's just, I'm uncomfortable. I want to talk to you, so I'm going to say I'm sorry, so I don't have to deal with that uncomfortableness of you, you know, channeling indignation at me. So I don't believe in the word sorry. Like, what are we sorry for? This needs to be a 10-hour conversation of exactly what happened. You know, is this going to happen again? You're calling anime feminine. Like, what the fuck? Like, you still have weird feelings about anime. Like, this is not resolved for me, because clearly you're thinking in a really, really weird way. That doesn't make sense to me. So no, I don't trust him at all.
But that trust can be rebuilt. I mean, you're not. I know what you're saying, but like, it's like, well, then he can prove that by being around here and like hanging out, and like you talk to him, and like the 10-hour conversation happens over the course of a couple weeks, and then like I could totally see it, so that things chill out. You know, I mean, it's like, and yeah, like I've had it happen where relationships or life happens, and you abandon online commitments, and it feels hard to start it back up again. You know, like people move on, and I don't know. It's like probably not easy on his end to, uh, you know, come back here and like interact, knowing how he's viewed or knowing how his like exit happened. Like that must be tough. And so I don't know. I think give him benefit of the doubt a little bit. I think that's fair to do in this context.
You don't understand. I'm not saying that I wouldn't ever give anyone the benefit of the doubt. I'm a very open-minded person when it comes to this stuff. I'll talk to you easily, for sure. But and I'm gonna give you the space to say whatever you want. But this is not my problem. This is not my relationship. So I don't give a fuck. I didn't know him that well. This is their guys' relationship. And if it was their guys' relationship, that's the fuck. If it was my relationship, that's the first conversation I'm having with him. Hey, can we talk about this?
Yeah,
this is maybe it's better to have it like this, to be honest, because now we're sort of getting his real feelings about certain different things that we used to do and the things that we still do that he doesn't, that he may look down on. And I'm just, you know, that to me, that needs to be aired out. Don't trust this guy.
One thing I really didn't trust, it seemed like the relationship was in like an in-between phase from just my analysis. I don't know for sure, but I kind of have a suspicion that that's the case, and who knows what's gonna happen if they get back. So I was actually telling that, I'm like, are you sure this is not like gonna happen again? And I'm telling him, if you start talking to her again, make her understand that we're not just anime friends, we're actual people, you know. I was trying to make him understand that.
Soon.
Yeah.
Because
no, I said that to him. He just, I don't remember what he said, but
don't let him get too comfortable. Yeah, because I don't know how the other people in this server feel. You know, they can just, you know, bring somebody in here, you know, and it's just nothing, even though he completely disrespected them. I completely view that as a completely disrespectful behavior. That needs to be a confrontation. That needs to happen. That's just my view. And maybe I'm a little bit too confrontational. That's just the way I am. But I wouldn't want him to go without him knowing the lay of the land. Absolutely not. That he could just hang out here and you get to say a few sorries and that's it. That's it. And I can't believe EXE folded that quickly after saying so much. And he said, when I was in a call with him, I was making food, and he was saying, yeah, you know, I got into a call with Ender, and yeah, I was just thinking, you know, I don't really understand this situation, so I'm gonna hear him out. That's what he's saying. I was just thinking, man, you channeled so much rage to that relationship just to fold immediately. That
really, I didn't know it was so impactful for EXE that he left. I didn't know. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm like I'm not like connected to this in that way. Like,
he was a child.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
When that happened, so just a little bit different.
Scarred, traumatized.
Right. But also, I
no,
bet
but Dad's back
EXE...
though. And he missed me, and he was busy with work, and he would have called if he could, but you know, he's back now, and I don't want to say anything to make him leave, and you know what I mean, like that.
Also, it could be, I think EXE is just a hive minder. That's being dismissive of, you know, his individuality, but I think he is, and I bet a lot of that comes from the people around him also showing indignation towards, what do you call it? Ender, because Tricky's, I can tell Tricky still feels away even though he's talking to him. I don't know how EXE feels, but the fact that he folded and he didn't bring up any sort of, you know, concerns about him being in here. It was just, oh yeah, I'm happy to invite him back. For me, that feels like mimicry behavior, rather than, oh, are you just mimicking the anger of the group? I definitely think he still would have felt angry, but probably not to that extent, because I think anyone would feel angry if their friends lost. But he really was one of the people that was quite upset about it visually when, you know, talking about the Thunder guy. If that name got brought up, that was Voldemort.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's a lot to be
Right.
like that was something that he had a lot to say about. It was a lot to.
I like that analogy. I get it because you told me about that.
I'm just. How am I the one that is the most concerned about this? Well, I say openly concerned about it. I don't know what's going on in Tricky's head, but I'm definitely big advocate for this guy being locked in a room and go, okay, we're doing some, you know, Ace Attorney with maybe start slow, you know, ease him in. Yeah, objection. Yeah, what the fuck is happening with you? So I don't trust you at all, and I don't want you to feel a little bit comfortable in here before, you know, we stop saying this fucking bullshit about Japan and anime. Because I mean, I'm not. It's funny because I'm the biggest anime shit talker in here with Dank. You know, I'm talking shit on anime a lot. So for me to, you know, be out here defending anime, that's different.
Well, that's what, as you said earlier, like there's a difference between being like dismissive of something and like constructively trying to like analyze it, understand it, and like improve it or improve a person's relationship with it. Like, I don't think you're shit talking anime. I don't think that phrase does justice to the kind of thought you put into the shows.
Right.
I want to ask what Affirm thinks about this, because I haven't actually heard him talk about this. Is he?
Hello. Affirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I actually haven't talked to him about. I don't think I talked to you about Ender coming back. Like, what do you like trust him at this point, or what? Like, you think he's gonna leave again, or?
Yeah, I've kind of thought about, like, I think there is a chance that he might leave again, to be honest.
What's the chance? Higher or lower than him?
I'm thinking there's a chance that he stays. The way you word that, like, there's a chance that he stays.
I mean,
So it's,
yeah, but
almost
like,
expected to leave
what
again
if
for me.
like, I don't know, because what he was talking about in his life, like, what if he has to like, what if he just goes again because of like something else pops up? So I have it has been in the back of my mind, but I'll be honest, like I think I've kind of like put it away. I'm like, yeah, the fact that he's even back like has made me like happy, I guess. But I think you guys are right. Like there probably needs to be a discussion about like certain things that you were saying, like the anime shit, like for sure. Stuff like that.
Because that's going to affect the way he views you guys. The fact that you're very
Yeah.
much into anime, and the fact that I said to him, so let me just record the conversation verbatim, or close to verbatim as I can. I was asking him, all right, if somebody wrecked you an anime to watch, would you watch it? And he says, well, actually, the conversation started as, oh, anime is just not interesting to me. And I go, oh, okay, so if a close friend that you trust recommended you anime, would you watch it? And he goes, oh, it's just not really much of an interest. And I'm thinking, why the fuck is he being so evasive? Can we get a yes or no instead of it's not your interest? I know it's not your interest. We're not talking about your interest. If somebody recommends you something that you don't know about, that obviously that's... Who recommends you a movie that you're interested in? No, that's of course not going to be your interest. That's something that they want you to see because they think you may be interested in it, or they want to have a conversation about something, and it's not going to be your interest. Yeah. What are we talking about?
Right.
And so the fact that he said that and being so evasive by doing some circular reasoning, was told me a lot about his views on anime, apart from along with him saying it's feminine, and so you're the anime friend in a way, and so I'm thinking that has to affect the respect that he has towards you in terms of what he's willing to share and things adjacent to that, how open he's gonna be, and I'm just saying that respect needs to be there. If he's dismissing your hobbies as something that's feminine, gross, I think you should ask, hey, what do you think about us engaging with anime? Is this, you think that we're disgusting? Do you think this is a defect? You know, sort of how, you know, some parents will be with video games that, oh, this is just a defect of you. You should be doing something else with your entertainment. You need to be doing fishing and hiking. You can't be doing video games as if it's not, you know, a legitimate hobby. Fuck you. That's just what you think. If you know, do something if you do something excessively, it's different, but if you're doing it along with other things, why do you view that as a defect and not just something I'm into? And that he might view you guys like that, where, oh, these are people that I've known for a long time, but that anime thing is a defect. If you guys weren't into anime, that would be a bonus for him. He doesn't take you the way you are immediately. And that's a big problem. I mean, the perception.
That's interesting though. Like I see what you're saying in terms of like, oh, if he's saying it's feminine and then like as a negative, he's saying doing this is negative, and then he views you doing it as negative. Like logically, totally follow that. But also, like, I'm not watching a lot of anime. Like, I'm not actively engaging in these, like, you know, activities and stuff. And like, I honestly don't see a lot of value in doing so. But that's not like a judgment of other people, because like a lot of people do things that I don't do because I don't see value in doing it. Like if you saw everything as valuable and worth doing, you would have not, like, you do have everything. Like I watch some sports, I don't watch other sports. I watch, you know, some shows, I don't watch other shows. Like I make choices in terms of how I engage with stuff. And like, I think that's fine. But yeah, you got to make it clear. It's like, you can't be like viewing your friends negatively in like a serious way, or like, you know, demeaning them because they have a hobby that you don't enjoy. You might not engage with it the same energy that they do, but like, yeah, you can't demean it. I think that's the distinction. It's like, it's fine to have difference of, you know, interests and hobbies and goals. If we were all the same, that would be worse. But, you know, demeaning a person for a certain interest is I think unfair and not cool.
I don't think he was demeaning. That didn't seem the energy he was bringing.
That's good. Well,
and he seemed to be understanding of it. He's like, yeah, you guys can do that, but it's like, I'm not interested anymore. That's kind of the approach he was coming with it. I wasn't here for Flo's conversation with him, so I didn't hear any of that until the very end. Unfortunately, kind of wish I was, but.
To me, just the way he even says it, I detect a lot of. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, you do your thing, you know, you do your thing. I don't want to see it. Sort of, I see this a lot in. It's funny. I was just looking at Japanese relationships, and the way that I found it really interesting. The way they view sex in their relationship is quite different. That the women are a lot more. Initially you would think, oh, they're really accepting of, you know, their men, you know, going to strip clubs and having sex with prostitutes. But it's one of those things where when they say it, it's when you get into the underlying things of what's happening, it's one of those things where it's, oh, if I could control it, I wouldn't have them doing it. Some even outright say that, but you know, that's their thing. I'm gonna let them do their thing. It's not something that, right? It's not one of those things where they're in a polycule and they're actually, you know, verbosely talking about, you know, like, oh yeah, I did this thing with this person, and they're going like, oh, pop champ, you know, like, oh, you know, or it's like, oh, that's nice, you know, I'm happy for you. It's definitely not to that level, because let's say I don't even really engage with anime that much anymore. I can't remember the last anime I watched all the way through, but if somebody wants to talk to me about an anime, to me, it's just another piece of media that exists for me to engage in. I don't demarcate it in my head as this separate thing. It's, hey, that's just a piece of entertainment, a storytelling, a different storytelling way. Let me engage with it. It's like, I'm not going to go, hey, do your thing. It's, oh, hey, do you want to talk about it? You know, what's going on with this?
Yeah, why do you like it? Yeah.
Exactly. The whole thing where it's like, oh, you can do your things, is that a thing where it's, oh, you can do your thing, so we're not going to talk
Not
about
around
that.
me.
I don't want to talk about that. Don't talk about that stuff around me. To me, that feels dismissive about your interest, and I don't like that. At least from what you told me initially, and putting that with the conversations I've had with him, that's what it feels like to me. And it makes me feel weird. It's not my relationship, it's yours. So I'm
A lot of
not gonna
stuff to
instigate
talk about, a
anything.
lot of interesting stuff to think about long term with this. I think that's interesting, like, because people also change in a couple years, you know, like it's
Mhm.
like he's back, but who is he now, right? Like that's an interesting
Mhm.
question too. Like, so yeah, I think it like there's nothing's gonna be settled by us with him not here, but like it is interesting for you guys to talk about like this and think about like what you want and expect from him and like who he will be in the future, right? For you. Because it's like what you're saying, Fleur, isn't just like, oh, I don't like that he did this in this one moment. It's like, well, what does this say about how he'll engage with us going forward and in the future and like on other things beyond anime? Like, has he developed stigmas around other things that, could be annoying or mean or something,
Uh-huh. Yep.
I gotta go to sleep soon. Actually, Gar now I stayed way longer than I wanted to be honest, but
Mhm.
yeah, it was good talking to you guys.
Right.
See ya,
Hey, have a good night.
Yeah,
See
so
ya.
tricky is every night.
Every night.
It's
That
not
is a
my
good, valid question to ask. Because honestly, I haven't really like asked him about other video games. Like he's into Roblox for some reason. I'm kind of surprised a little
Right.
bit.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Roblox.
I wonder what he
Roblox,
thinks
other
about
things.
other like video games in general.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder.
He seems to be an outgoing person when he was talking about, oh, I'm not really into that. I'm into, hiking, going fishing. He just said all the sort of outdoorsy stuff. I know he used to, party go on, used to drink every night. So something. So
Every night.
seems to have adopted a extroverted personality, which is really interesting for me because just from my conversations with him, I'm definitely I'm definitely very extroverted. When probably one of the more extroverted people when it comes to talking with people in the conversations, and he was probably one of the least where he was submissive, sort of a follower. So it was really interesting. It could just be one of those.
Extroversion isn't the same as sociable. Those are different. Like one is like you're describing like extroversion can be a seeking out and confrontation and aggression but like it also could be like fitting in with a group really well and being friends with everybody but not knowing anybody specifically, just like, oh hey, Gavin, right? Gavin M, like just like being good at knowing someone
Marcus.
well enough to like keep a basic level of like relationship, like that. And that's what a lot of partying is just knowing how to remember people's names just enough to like have a funny joke and like ask a specific thing in like the next time you see them a month later. Like those, you can be pretty submissive and still do all those things just to say like it actually lends itself pretty well. Whereas like if and being at a party is all about going with the flow. It's not about like having a specific, hey guys, stop this, let's think about this really important thing, something came up. Like, no, you're just like whatever is happening, you're just letting happen. Like that's so
No party guys, so I can't say to
me
what
either, because I
the
don't like doing those things. I don't like fucking having to just like sit back and hope that something interesting happens while people are drunk. Like
just being drunk sounds like a really boring activity to
It's kind of-
engage in.
I've only been drunk a couple times. It's pretty fun. It's just more like being drunk, like being around drunk people. Like that's more annoying to me than being.
Right. I just don't want to deal with the externalities of being drunk and being around drunk people. It doesn't sound that interesting to me, just from the small experience that I've had. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, valid.
There's a lot of it. I call it, just sort of lowest common denominator entertainment. Where what do I want to do? I want to talk about things in depth that you actually have to have high. You have to retain a lot of information about something. If I want to talk about something that I've played, watched, seen in depth, that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about when you're inebriated. I think a lot of that sophistication leaves, and it's a lot of it is It's not entirely gone. That's just the particular experiences that I've had. But it's a lot of the time you're just
Definitely.
slower talking to somebody that's slower and is a lot more impulsive. I'm not into that. But I just wanted to say with that Ender thing, it's not my relationship, so I'm not gonna instigate anything to blow anything up.
Yeah, of course.
That's nothing.
And I think you should give him credit for like being willing to put his neck out there and like be back. Like, yeah, it is sorry doesn't mean anything, but also like putting yourself in a position where you have to constantly face feeling bad for leaving your friends, because clearly he does. I mean, he came back, he didn't didn't have to do that. He clearly does feel bad. He clearly does want to reconnect. Like that takes guts and courage. And like I don't know. To me, that itself gives me the benefit of the doubt for this person. But yeah, you definitely have to clarify things and like definitely have to, get level with what is going on, because otherwise that's not fair to him or you, like for him or them.
Right. I'm thinking about it way more in terms of, wow, we must have been the last people that you could have gone to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't think of it that way. That's interesting. Right.
Because if you despise a lot of the things that we do, or at least view it as, of poor character, I'm thinking, why are you here? Maybe I don't understand the relationship, and that's why I'm sort of, holding back. But a lot of it does seem as though he despises a lot of the things that you like.
Trickies. Yeah.
I'm gonna. I'm kind of thinking a little bit more about this too. What if he's just back because he has like no one else to turn to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's just like using us because I don't think it's fully that, but it is something to think about.
Definitely. No, yeah, that's a really good point. Because and that's what Fleur said too, is like why come back here if you have all these opinions that are negative of what's happening? Like what happened to the fishing buddies and the hiking buddies? Like
yeah, no, it's a big drama going on in there. Yeah, I'm definitely very curious about that. But again,
dude, the hiking community is toxic, bro.
Yeah, maybe it's really toxic in West Virginia.
Hiking community.
Yeah, West Virginian hiking community. Bad rep. It's only got 2
so
stars.
much trauma, dude. So much trauma, dude.
I got PTSD about that, yeah. It's not my relationship, so I don't want to instigate any sort of, bad feelings from him to
but
you.
Trickies is your friend. Your friend. I mean, these are your friends, so it's also fair for you to like have input and like you knew Ender. I mean, I wouldn't diminish your what you're saying or in
definitely I'm not diminishing what I'm saying. I'm just not gonna have that interaction with him as aggressively as I would. Maybe I'm gonna put some feeler questions so that could help you, have a conversation and give my take on that whole relationship, because even though I'm not what you call it, even though I'm not really I'm still upset that he could do that to somebody, and I'm not a very trusting person. I don't trust that, and I think it is good to take inventory that he's he is putting his neck out there. He is putting himself up to a lot of abuse, and maybe he's not receiving it, but that's not what he would have guessed when he's when he initially started the dialogue with Trickies and the other people in here. He would have expected more of a pushback, and man, he should have gotten it. He should have gotten the sword. But
I'll be honest, I'm not usually one that
the lash
very much pushed back, so I'm not used to do that type of thing.
Yeah, I need some pushback for sure.
But I don't know. It does put it in perspective. I feel like it's definitely something that should bring up the next time in these questions.
All right, definitely. Definitely stream it because I definitely, if I'm not on, I definitely wanna hear what he says. Or what he has to say for himself, because maybe start off slow, because I want these opinions to be out there. You know, what do you feel about these certain things? Because just doing some feeler questions around him, I already don't like where it's going, where he's already saying, what does this feminine stuff got to do with anything? He's not saying that as a description, he's saying that as a prescription. It's feminine, so it's bad.
It's just not really, he's not really like describing it.
Exactly. And he's refusing to.
Word for word. It's just.
And so I think I'm going to be, if he brings that up again, because I've already had that conversation with him, I'm going to be a lot more pushy and saying, you need to tell me what you mean by feminine, because I don't even know why you're saying it as if it's a bad thing.
Like someone has a kit, like a WAF camo, like pink, like a girl's color. It's like it's such a weird, like,
I know, right?
You're listening to girls' music. Like it's such a weird, it's such like a elementary school, like I mean, at least I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's even talking about. Like that's weird.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
a feminine culture, a feminine society. Japan is one of the most like traditionalist, fucking like rural, like patriarchal ass societies. Like it's so crazy. I
can't believe he called that feminine. Yeah,
I know, it's so great. Yeah, like you definitely a good question. Like, what does he mean by that? Like for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't he call something else feminine too? Like besides anime in Japan, something else.
I don't know.
Probably. I mean, based off of all the other things. I mean, I wonder what it was though. Yeah, it is also interesting to get his perspective though. Like, what has the world made him think about these things like in the last few years, right? Like that is an interesting thing of like, how has he changed?
He's gone down a completely different path than any of us in here, because none of us are in the military, and that's why I brought it up to you, because I don't really know people from the from the American military. So I don't.
Very masculine, very like proving your machismo by suffering pain and by showing that you can take more fucking beatings and like verbal abuse than other people. And like I mean, it depends on what branch of the military he's in. If he's in the the army, very different than being in like the Air Force, like signals intelligence directive. Like these are very different cultures, but there's definitely a culture of hypermasculinity, making fun of gay people, like it, and a lot of it is because these are very easy things to do, and a lot of the people that join the military do so with like low education and low kind of they're coming out of high school and they don't know a lot about the world, and so you have to relate to people on kind of a very basic level, and so it just kind of boils down to like how tough you are, how much of a man you are, how much you can badass you are. Like that's a big differentiator.
That's very interesting. I think the only person that was in any sort of military wing that I talked to at a somewhat frequent basis was what was his name? Slip
Julian.
Not Julian. I didn't talk to him. Black Post military, I barely talked to him.
Okay,
and I didn't relate to him. He's not somebody that divulges stuff. It's sort of very surface level. I can't even really say I knew him. We're just talking shit. Yeah, I couldn't say anything about Julian apart from he's in the military. No, couldn't say.
No, but the slip gun guy you're saying?
Yeah, he was he's Scottish, and I think he for a little bit he was part of the maybe like British Air Force or something. I don't know. Oh, whatever the fuck it's called, Royal Air Force. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, the SAS, the RAF, one of those two.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, maybe the RAF.
Those are the two. Yeah.
But I think he ended up stopping doing that. But he was definitely a built guy. He was very much. Yeah, I was very surprised when I first saw him because it was I think he was doing a co-op game with Yezi, Ender, and somebody else. And he had his face cam on. It's really something very atypical of people in zombies that don't usually have their face cam on, right? Especially if they're nobody. This guy is a nobody and he's got his face cam on. And playing with high round players, of course, like nobodies that don't play high rounds use face cam, but not somebody that's also playing high rounds. And so I thought that was very weird. and the guy was definitely very attractive, very muscular. And the thing is, though, he didn't seem the type of guy where he was definitely way more mask energy coming from. You have Yezi that sounds like, you know, half anime character, half, you know, DSP. Sorry about that. And Ender, who was definitely very submissive, especially back then. I mean, he still is now, but submissive in a sort of, well, okay, you're an anime character. You're a submissive anime character. I don't know what else he was playing with. I'd have to look back at some videos, but he felt mature, and he didn't feel as though he was exerting his masculinity onto anyone. He wasn't proving himself to anyone. Maybe he didn't feel like he needed to prove anything, but definitely, he definitely held more of a. I separate masculinity into two different paths, where it's the young path and the old path, where, you know, young masculinity is a lot more about proving yourself and
ego
doing devilish.
yeah.
Whereas older masculinity, I'm thinking more of a sort of patriarchal duty, also taking care of,
honor,
you know, people, sort of
seriousness, burden,
shouldering bud, and
100%.
sort of mentorish sort of role. I felt he was more of that older, and I think I would expect he was older than the other people in there, but he felt there was a lot of maturity that he exuded, and not that you know, weak masculinity. So it was very interesting, because that's my only experience with it. So I wasn't expecting this sort of hive mind, which, honestly, this is my guess, off of, this is low conviction, maybe 20%, off of just seeing who Ender is. It seems like Ender is just hive-minded into different roles in his life, where he's now sort of abandoned. If you, one big warning sign for me is if you've completely changed your hobbies and have a certain distaste towards what you were doing previously, depending on what it is. If you're doing, you know, heavy drug use of, you know, stuff that has really bad long-term consequences, okay, of course I can understand that, right? But and not wanting to engage with them in any capacity in case you fall back into that, yeah, that makes sense to me. But if you have such distaste for the things that you were previously into, basically entirely, very suspicious for me in terms of your character and you sort of hive-minding into whoever you're around. I think if he was, you know, talking to us to a large extent, I think, could he turn into an anime person? I think very much likely, because that's just the social currency of the group.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not necessarily anime. I think it's definitely more broad now, because I don't really talk about anime ever.
Fighting games and Loach God.
Right. Low tech. That's the social currency.
That's who you are. Is at this point is fighting games and Loach God.
100%. Yeah. That's
no, but I would also say though that, like, well, he was a type. So yeah, like, he definitely is chameleoning. And if you're deciding to go in the military, that's also a very good indication that you're willing to just do what people tell you to do, because that's what you do in the military is people tell you to do things, and questioning it is itself how you get punished. Like, the slower you say, sir, yes, sir, the more push-ups you have to do. Like, the slower you are to salute the person that walks past you. Like, my friend who's in the military was saying that, you know, he's in the Marines, and when you're walking by someone who's a captain, like, you have to know that they're a captain, because if you don't salute them and stop and, like, just, like, immediately do it, like, you'll, like, have, like, shit put on your record. Like, it's like a serious, like, it's like a serious thing where, like, you're disciplined for not immediately just, like, sir, yes, just, like, instantly, right? So that, like, being attracted to that and wanting to be a part of that, of course you're going to be the kind of person that's more willing to just let other people direct your life, like, for sure. But also, I think what he's doing now could be seen as the opposite of this, because he's thinking to himself, who was I 5 years ago? Who am I now? What kind of person do I want to be? And he's going into a place where he feels he wants to be more like the person he was previously. Like that's also how you could see this. Like you could see this as him like actually taking charge and countering the narratives he's been told of like what it means to be a person interested in anime and deciding like, hey, like I want to go back to being a different kind of person and I want to be around people, these friends of mine in the past who allowed me to be a type of person that I miss, a person that I liked more, maybe even. And
maybe.
I don't know. Again, that could be like that's on some level he is saying the way I was previously is something I want to revisit again. Like, why else would he reach out to these friends, right? So, yeah, I think again, I totally see what you're saying, and it does show like a lack of, as you would say, gubshit or strength of character. But also, this could be seen as him actually taking that into his hands for the first time in a long time, and maybe losing the relationship made him question who he wants to be. You know?
Yeah, that is true. That's why I say low conviction. That's why I'm feeling for these other opinions. I'm not gonna write him
again.
off
I don't know him. I don't fucking know him.
either,
So like, right? So I mean, who knows? Like, I'm going off what you're saying and what Tricky said and what Affirm said. But I like that's it sounds like he's trying to be a different person, and it's an interesting question of whether Tricky's and Affirm like thinks he deserves like a second chance, like long term. But maybe he wants to be a more full and complete person, and maybe him saying it's feminine is like a remnant. It's like one of those communist people who are like brainwashed into being like, actually, it was good that I was re-educated. Like they're like, and they leave the country and they go to Romania, and then like every now and again they hear a song and it like snaps them into this mode of like, oh no, that's feminine. Like he's like in military mode still a little bit. He's like anime gay, anime feminine. I don't want to be gay. Like like it's like that. So it's tough to say if that's something he really believes, but yeah, if he's coming back here on some level, he does see people who are interested in that thing as like cool people and people he wants to be around.
Right, on some level for sure. You just have to see that through several conversations. What exactly is going on? Because I just immediately don't trust it.
I think we should.
What'd you say?
I think we should confront him more for sure.
Right.
But he is definitely like more comfortable, so we probably could get more out of him compared to him just come back. I would think so. Anyway.
Yeah. There's a little bit more hook, like roots. He's put in a little more roots right now. Like he's
he's more willing to listen to what you're saying now that it's a regular fixture of him coming in here. So it's definitely the right play to be I guess empathetic at first. You don't want to be, so confrontational that there's just no room for him to. Why would I talk to these people? Because a lot of people just, it's about them. It's not. They're not so willing to face criticism. And so, and the coping mechanism with that is, why are they being such cunts? Pieces of shit, sort of just so they don't have to confront it. I don't know. That's just a possible route that he could have gone down. So it's good that maybe I would have had the conversation way earlier. Then I wouldn't have had several VCs without playing. You're playing games with me. I'm not playing a game with you. You think I'm joining a game with you after you did that? I think we need to have some talks. We can.
I think there's a difference between confrontation and clarification. Just to say, like, you're like, again, like being empathetic is all about understanding. It's all about like, well, okay, what was he thinking? Like, how would I have acted in his position based on the situation he was in, and understanding where he was and where he is. And then after you do that, it's like, let's clarify some shit. Like, it's not about like confronting him. It's just like, okay, I kind of understand where you're at now. I need to know like answers to certain questions about like how you see us and how you see the future of the kind of friendship, like that's I think so. Like I wouldn't even call it like, because confrontation is almost like accusing a person of something, and this is more like, hey, I want to make sure that this is like, you understand what I'm saying and how I see it, and like you're not gonna be fucking up shit, like I think that's fair. Like
yeah,
it's like, where do we all stand, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to approach it. I'm not really used to dealing with people coming back after a long time of just not being there. in this particular sense of, you know, this person sort of actively did not want to talk to the people in here because of stuff with the relationship that was happening. So it's good to hear what you have to say on it, because I can be a little bit there's multiple perspectives, because I can be a little bit one note with the way I
Yeah,
think.
but like that, I think you're doing that as a challenge to say like, hey, what do other people think? Like I'm throwing it out there. Like I'm not gonna hold back when, you know. And again, all of what I'm saying is caveated in like I'm on a ton of cold medicine. It's midnight and I'm fucking super sick. So like if what I say doesn't make sense, like, you know, I'm sorry.
Makes sense to me. So yeah, I have to say I appreciate the input. Some good input you gave me on, well, it's not even really me, Tricky's in the phone, because I'm definitely not, I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna, unless you guys instigate something. I say instigate, but less in a confrontational sense, but just instigate a conversation. At this juncture, I'm definitely not doing any of that, because that's not my
No.
friendship. I don't give a fuck about this guy, not one bit, and I never did.
Do you think I like him?
What'd you say?
Do you think I like him?
I don't know. I don't know what the type of person you would like, so you have to give me more of that.
I think you do.
Oh wait, what'd you say? You think
I think you do. I think you
Right.
know the kind of person I like. I mean, do you like, I like people who like have a capacity like to like not so game focused. Like I'm fine with video games and talking about them and like being interested in people's hobbies, but I also want there to be a kind of larger context of the conversation and not just being like, you know, I'm sitting here playing a game. Oh, dude, I got fucking dogs. Like I get, and then you're also like, dude, oh man, dude, like I got fucked on drops. Like and like we're just both like, you know, annoyed that we're not getting good RNG, and like we're talking to Twitch chats individually and muting, and like that kind of dynamic of, okay, I'm
you
here
wouldn't be
playing a
muting,
game.
just to
I don't
correct
want to
you.
be alone. Like,
Mhm.
I should be. I would just be talking in the fucking mic and Twitch chat, like, hey, welcome back. Like, just in the, but like, you know, for me, it's like, I want there to be like, we're talking. It's not just like, we're both playing video games next to each other in different rooms. Like, it's we're like, so that's the kind of person I like.
I don't
Do
know
you
if
think I
he
like
has
him? Like,
I don't know if he has a capacity, because I've just not talked with him too much, and I'm somebody that just likes to talk about things, so I'm gonna get stuff out of people. So I was, of course, talking about his military service, and you know, getting his opinions on certain different things, just because I don't know about that, so I'm interested. But when I came in here, it was just talking about, it was just, you know, they're playing a video game together. There wasn't really much going on, and I missed a lot of the conversation because I woke up and came in because I was saying to Trickies, man, I think we need to have some conversation with this guy, because I'm a little bit concerned with some of the things that he said yesterday to me. So I was telling him, stream it, or let me wake up, let me go to sleep now so I can wake up and still have him in the VC. But instead of having the conversation, apparently EXE had he was doing finance stuff with stuff, because I asked, I told EXE I was a little bit concerned with his finances, and I don't think he knows how to do them properly. So I told him, hey, you know, if you speak with Stealth, I'm sure Stealth has talked about that before, so you should.
Stealth is the best, dude. I love him so much. Like, the good fucking guy he is. He's so awesome.
He said some good stuff. And then I was talking with him a little bit after. I think EXE like disappeared. Well, he didn't disappear, but he was like, yeah, I gotta go. And I was talking with Stealth for a little bit, talking about like financial stuff, talking about like certain stuff like what he was doing in the teacher and stuff. And
Like for savings and stuff?
Computer science.
Yeah, I think savings.
I did bring up that I wanted to like create games at some point.
Fire.
It has been a dream, but
that's fire.
Yeah, that's water.
You should talk about that more. You should talk about like what kind of games you want to make and like why. Like I would love to know about that straight up. Like just to be serious, like.
Because I don't know a lot about you with aside from
Yeah,
gorilla.
I'll be honest. Like, I don't think there is a lot of stuff that I don't think I've really told like anyone in here, to be honest.
Right.
You should.
Latent thoughts.
I think I'm not like the greatest at expressing myself, to be honest. Like, that is definitely a problem.
Uh-huh.
that I
Well, then
have.
get better by talking and expressing
Yeah.
yourself and telling us what you like and like shit. Like I want that. Like that's awesome.
Even my brother tells me that I need to talk more,
Mm.
and I think I'm like slowly getting better at it for sure, but
Mm.
it's a work in progress.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm here watching people give eggs to foxes, so I'm not like, you know.
Oh.
Look at how cute this is. It's so adorable. She rescues foxes from fur farms, which so evil. Like when you see what a fur farm looks like, it's just
It's awesome. I love this.
like that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And like she's rescuing them from this.
Right.
Okay, so then she's going on Easter and giving them these hard-boiled eggs. They're so cute. They hide the eggs if they're already like full, and they're so cute.
That's a fox?
Yeah.
Wow, that looks so different from the foxes I see. Mine are orange.
Yeah, the orange ones. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Stereotypical ones. Yeah, those are the ones I see.
They're basically like dog cats. They're like, I love foxes so much.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I enjoy foxes.
They're so sneaky too. I love that they hide shit. I love that they steal shit. Like they're so mischievous. I love them so much. And then it's like,
Oh.
That's a nice tattoo. That would do
yeah.
that would do really well in an El Salvadorian.
He said he heard El Salvador calling her a gang member because she has a tattoo. It's a classic American move right now.
I was saying to EXE because he wanted to come to America. That's sort of a latent dream. It's not something that he's realized because his girlfriend lives over here. And I was saying, because I know he likes to do brain altering substances. So I was saying, don't do any of that over here. Don't even risk.
Not here.
Risk. Yeah. Definitely don't.
This Mawa one, it steals like 6 eggs. It keeps going up and coming back around and stealing eggs. Yeah, that's good advice to the EXE. There's drugs here. You can buy drugs here. You don't need to bring them. Like, just fucking leave them there and then buy them here. Like,
right. Well, definitely don't do the illegal ones or have them in your possession. Because I know you could, weed is legal in some states, but I don't know about other drugs. I wouldn't want him getting like being, you're doing that thing where you trust the people around you, but they're doing stupid shit. But because it's sort of the authority thing where you're placing a lot of you're sort of placing your mental, you're delineating your mental capacity to them. They're doing, you're letting them do the judgments, and you're not doing any. And so you get into a stupid situation where you're caught with drugs and bad stuff happens because you're not from the country, so don't even
you get taken advantage of so easily if you're a foreigner coming here and like you're fucked up. Like it happens a lot. It's really sad.
So just I would just say
that's the 4th egg it took. That's the 4th time it took another egg.
Rubbers.
They're so cute though, aren't they? So cute. Like they're beautiful. I mean, it's sad. You can see why they would be farmed for their fur. You can see why they would be, unfortunately, but they're so misunderstood. They're such like kind and like sweet like animals. Like we just don't,
Really? People don't like foxes? I thought everyone loves foxes.
Okay, well, first off, let me tell you, your culture is evil towards foxes. Fox hunts are one of the most evil things that exist ever. Anyone who's ever participated in a fox hunt deserves to burn in hell or have their dick cut off or have their parents poisoned. Because the entirety of what it is you fucking drug a fox and then you have them hunted by these dogs and watch them get torn apart while you sit on horses. Like, it's the most fucking evil shit ever. It's like a blood sport with no actual purpose. And yeah, people treat foxes like pests. They'll trap them, kill them. Like, it's Yeah. No. Well, I mean, in all fairness, if let's say you have chickens, like if you have chickens, yeah, foxes will try to break in and kill the chickens and like take the eggs. Like if you have an actual farm, foxes can be a problem, but like a lot of animals can be a problem, you know? So it's probably more like the kind of fox that you see, like kind of the
Never seen that depict. I've never seen foxes depicted as, apart from a sly fox, I've never seen foxes depicted in any sort of negativity or
This
anything.
is how you probably see this kind of fox probably see,
Yeah,
right? Like
this,
the
the black legs with the black
Yeah.
tips on the ears. Yeah, I like those
yeah,
foxes
this
a
is
lot.
oh, they're so cute, dude. And like, well, they make kind of crazy noises and like they'll kill pets. Like if people leave their cats out at night and like foxes will fuck up their cats and then
Oh,
like they
yeah.
hate the, you know. So it's
Yeah.
like I
I'd
get
rather
why
have a fox,
people
so good.
wouldn't, you know, like do that, but like yeah, they're I don't know. Oh, look at this. This is a King Julian type lemur. It's if you've seen Madagascar.
Right,
This is a
yeah,
King
I have.
Julian situation. Yeah. They're so cute.
Not interested.
They're mainly herbivores, so. But it's like, what the heck is this?
What is this? You eat this?
Look at it. The ferrets are
What is
so cute.
that? Oh, that's a ferret.
It's a ferret.
No
Yeah.
wonder
Oh, it's a
why.
type of ferret. It's a bigger
Right.
ferret. Yeah. They're so cute. Well, again, this is another animal that's farmed for its fur, and so
Really?
I've given this woman over $100. By the way, she has this, you know, just because she takes care of all these animals, she rescues them and like takes care of all of them, and so, my dream always as a kid was to get a farm and save as many cats as I could from the shelter. I literally can't go into PetSmart to buy my cat food because I have to walk by cats in in these cages, and I want to just like adopt all of them, like straight up. Like it's a and
wow.
the level at which I want to do it isn't just like a oh, that would be nice to do it. It's like a my mind will be spent for a week occupied on logistically how to set up the adoption strategy of getting all these cats and how I can like explain it to people and stuff. Like so
Interesting.
I can't do that. I can't afford it. So instead I just give people like this money and like, you know, yeah. So this is a mom that just gave birth to a bunch of foxes.
Oh, that black?
Yeah,
is
first.
Is that an early
Yeah,
years
first. And
sort
then
of
they
thing?
changed their then they changed their if the fur starts changing. This is like the undercoat. So they have like if you look at their coat here, there's the orange on the outside, but then there's this
Yeah.
if you can see the black here.
Yeah, I
So
can.
that's what this fur is. And the fur develops over it to give like a second layer of insulation. And kind of water resistance type thing. It's really I mean, fur tech, very interesting. Props does not do fur justice. I'll tell you that. Like it's
And this one's got a different sort of is that developing or is that just its final form?
that's its final form. It's different because basically a lot of foxes, especially in Russia, were bred to have like the fluffiest coat that they can. But also, if they're foxes from Russia, they live in Arctic conditions where they need an insanely fluffy coat. So it's kind of both at the same time. And but a lot of these have been living in cages their whole life. So they look kind of skinny. They look kind of like they have weird fur. But that's because she just got them from these like prisons, and she's like, you know, brought them out. And so
very interesting.
their tails are so fluffy.
I can't believe foxes are hated because you know, in the cats and dogs conversation, cats versus dog conversation, definitely foxes. I know that's not in a
Oh, yeah.
conversation, but I think there should be.
Oh no.
Always had a preference for foxes. Forbidden cats.
Yeah.
Red panda, raccoon.
Possum, skunk.
Okay. Skunk.
No, possum, skunk. Skunks, okay, they are so cute, especially skunks with parents, like skunk baby around bike. They're like these little bundles of fur that are just bouncing. They're so cute. The thing is, they will like chemical warfare nuke you by hitting you with these spray, and you cannot get the smell off you. Like my dog got hit with it, and we had to leave her outside for 2 days because the smell just would not come off. It is one of the most horrifying smells ever. And so this guy's just having to be still because he doesn't want to get sprayed. But But I mean, they're so cute. These little fucking, they literally are just around their mom, and they're just these little bundles of fur. It's just so cute.
Mhm.
Some psychos do have pet skunks. I don't understand that, but they usually have to have surgery to get their stink gland removed. But that's so fucked up because then it like I don't know. It just seems to mess with its hormones and stuff. So
Oh, okay.
like look at that. They're little bundles of fur. They're just like they're just bouncing around their mom. It's so cute.
Mm.
But yeah, forbidden cats. I'm also a big fan of.
I didn't know there was a
Different forbidden
category. I didn't know there was a category of cats. Forbidden cats. Foxes are cats
Yeah.
then.
But yeah, basically, they're cat dogs. Like,
Uh-huh.
this is
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Do you talk to your
They're
animals
all-
like this?
yeah,
Interesting.
not in this voice, but I constantly talk to my animals, 100%.
Oh yeah, I was saying in that specific voice.
No, my voice is more like, oh my god, you're such a little, it's not like that, the
Right,
same
okay.
like high pitch, like,
I love you.
What are those white things on there?
oh, sprinkles.
Sprinkles of what?
Gosh, is that yummy?
It's like
Sugar?
it's like yeah, sugar.
Oh, you're not
They
gonna
can
share.
eat a lot of shit. They're like omnivores. They're kind of like raccoons in the same way. They just eat a lot of shit.
Right. I don't know what raccoons eat. I don't think I've even met one.
Garbage.
I'll leave you with your cookie.
Oh, nice.
Are you such a happy boy, huh?
Yeah, get back in that cage. Actually, we're gonna put you on a smaller one. Put you back on those farms.
Hi, Vixie.
Oh,
Look
what's
at how
this?
fluffy they are.
Let me pet you.
Don't tell me this is a fox too.
Yeah, these are all foxes.
Really?
They're all different. Yeah, all different like genuses of foxes. Like they're all the same
You already know you get all
ultimate
they-
species, but
Mm-hmm.
they're very different. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, they can breed together.
Vibe
Yeah, yeah.
offering?
Mhm.
Oh,
Both
interesting.
of these can. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
All right, I thought it was gonna be some liger.
No. But there's a lot of genetic diversity. Like it's.
Dixie, do is a good
This is
girl.
Trixie. I like this one a lot.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Dixie.
It has so much to say always whenever she sees it.
It's a special day for the orange foxes, huh? Oh, what's that? What's going on over there? What's going on?
Just a basic cat.
Yeah, just chilling. But that's another thing. The foxes that she has, they don't kill the cats because foxes don't try to start shit with other animals if they have food. So she keeps them fed and they're just like they're not hurting each other, they're not going after the cats, like they roam around. It's awesome. Like
Oh, she's a ginger ninja. That's why she likes the orange foxes.
Her cookie.
oh yeah, she
So-
loves the orange foxes.
wants a
She
nut
sees herself as a
because
fox,
her
100%.
mouth is full.
Huh.
Floofy, come here. Show me.
Like a mother fox kind of thing.
Right. Why does everything look so dreary in this place?
She lives out in the middle of nowhere. But that's because property's super cheap out here.
Go boy.
So she just has like acres and acres of land. She has horses, she has
Finally,
coyotes, she has like, this one's a coyote. It's not a
This
fox.
is a coyote? Okay. I don't know what those are.
They're a type of wolf relative. And what's interesting about this is a Joe Rogan fact, actually, that I know from him. But
Uh-huh.
like when America was being settled, like they killed off all the wolves because the wolves were killing their livestock. The wolves were, fucking them up when they were going hunting and like
Mhm.
traveling and stuff. So what they would do is they would kill a deer, poison it, and then put wolf urine on it to make it seem like, oh, a wolf has sprayed it, it's safe. And so wolves would go over there, they'd eat it, they die. Coyotes, they tried a similar strategy, but basically coyotes do this thing where they howl, and the howling is itself a way of indicating how many of the members are alive still. And
Mhm.
if one of them doesn't check in on the nightly roll call, there's a
Mhm.
hormone that gets produced in the females, which triggers them to have more pups. And so, like, they kind of
Ah.
have this defense mechanism against being killed, even though that there was like a kind of similar effort to eradicate them. And so
That's
they're like the
so
kind of
interesting.
they're kind of the main remaining wolf in America type. And yeah, like these are another animal. They'll fuck up cats. Like they, you have to keep cats inside because of, especially my area, because of coyotes. But they're just like little dogs. You can kind of see them running around, and it's funny.
Definitely
Sometimes people will
next.
like think they're dogs that are like lost and like try to
Mhm.
like clean them up and like and
Mhm.
like make them like, oh, whose dog is this? And like people, it's people like, dude, it's a coyote. And no one that's like not a.
Right. And the wolves were definitely vexed.
Definitely, yeah, they got hit with the COVID vax, the myocarditis or whatever.
Oh, yeah, the coyotes definitely had the kitchen sink.
Oh yeah, they got hit with the full kitchen sink. Aren't they perfect for the snow though, with their fluffy coats? Like they love the snow.
Maybe, but they're quite conspicuous.
Oh yeah, you can totally see them. Like they're not blended
Yeah.
in.
Right.
But they that's why they live in the holes. They live in their little foxholes.
Uh-huh.
So they bury underground, and so that's where they kind of chill. And he's got the zoomies.
Wait, so people hunt foxes?
Not like really anymore because they've all been hunted and killed. But yeah, for pelts,
Wow.
people were killing foxes constantly. Like, and people will kill foxes mainly because they're trying to protect their own pets. But like, also, if you see a fox in the neighborhood, you call animal control. They come and they euthanize it, right? So it's like a couple extra steps. But yeah, people kill foxes. Like that's the main way they're treated is like these pests that are dangerous to be killed. Like, or they're farmed on fur farms for their luxurious coats. And I mean, look how fluffy.
Wow.
You can see a couple hats being made out of these guys. Like you can see that they would be some good hats.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look up Russian fox hats, like they're all like a ton of Russian like clothing is just all foxes. Like,
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting VC they're having.
oh yeah, they really are. They're talking. They're yapping. You can see they got some shit to say to each other.
Oh no. Some hand motions too.
Wait a minute. Okay, but they're like maybe we're actually chill.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. It's like actually we're not chill at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how animals speak.
Yeah, mainly with body motion and like you know, if they look like they're ready to attack is kind of the main thing. Like, but this is very playful. You can see how playful this is. Like this isn't like it's more just like running around having a fun time. It's not so much like
Hi, Skippy. Hi, Kippy. Go, Wesley, go, go. I can get you.
they're so playful.
So why come foxes never turned into, or why didn't nobody ever have that relationship that they have with cats? Wait, what are domesticated animals?
So domesticated animals are animals that have been bred to be docile, servile, and compatible with human societies. So what this means is when you have a bunch of dogs, what you do is you kill all but the least aggressive, and then you make that one breed another of the least aggressive dogs. And then so you keep doing this over like 1,000 years, and dogs start developing different traits. Like they develop floppy ears. They develop kind of a more passive, submissive attitude towards humans. And by removing the aggression and making them compatible with humans, you've domesticated them. That's the type of thing we're talking about with foxes. You can also describe like domestication as a process of like making animals able to be farmed. So like pigs, cows, that's more a process of trying to make them as fat as possible, making them as able to yield as much meat as possible. So in that instance, you kill all but the ones that are the most fat, right? You kill the skinniest, the runts, you get rid of those, and then you make the biggest, the strongest, the most meaty breed with other ones. One interesting example of this is the Flemish giant rabbit. And they basically had these rabbits that they farmed. And I mean, you can see why these would be rabbits you'd farm. I mean, these are huge animals.
What do they farm them for? Just farm?
For rabbit meat and their fur.
Rabbit meat.
But yeah, like rabbit meat is a common thing that people would eat up there.
Interesting. Do they have any health defects?
I mean, honestly, I don't know what the like relative to what. I mean, probably, but they can get up to 22 pounds. You hear like that's a lot of rabbit meat. Like thinking of it in this way,
that means
22 pounds. That's like
that's a lot of money.
Like if you lifted up like four Xbox Ones, like you would get roughly that. Like if you did like 4 Xbox or like 3 Xbox Ones,
yeah,
it would be like
911s. I've never had it.
It's
I've
like
never.
8 at 11s. It's like
Yeah. Wait, hold on. 22 pounds in kg. Let me just do that. Oh, 10. That's 10 kilograms. All right.
they can get big. That's pretty big for a rabbit. Like think about a rabbit being that big. Like that's a big fucking boy. Like
And they're bigger than the rabbits I see in the wild. What do you think
About
about
50.
zoos?
I don't like them.
Okay. That's what I was saying to Tricky. I don't like the concept of zoos.
So there's a place nearby me called the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I've been to a bunch.
Um,
And aquariums are interesting because they provide access to like nature and understanding of the sea, and they're about like advocating like don't let them set up oil like drilling facilities in the bay, and like let's keep this environment like pristine and stuff, and that's cool. But yeah, like fundamentally they're trapping animals in these kind of like cages to be looked at, and there's like these super bright lights that are shining on them constantly. They struggle to get good sleep. They often have a ton of health defects. They die younger than most other animals, even in the wild, because of the stress of being in the zoos. You know, so yeah, I'm not a fan of zoos. I think it's unless you're talking about an animal that's like essentially elderly, dying anyways, and you put them on a reserve, like a kind of you know, a nature preserve, and then you let people go and have a safari where they go and look at it, like that's fine. But if you're caging up animals, I'm not a fan of that usually. So
Okay. True. Oh, that's what that was nasty business. I'm surprised that there aren't more. It just seems like with animals that people are just not really that interested with morality when it comes to that. I mean, I guess when you eat them and wear them,
I don't.
it goes out the window. I was talking out.
You know that.
To,
I don't do that. I don't eat them and wear them. So like.
Right. Oh, you don't wear them? Oh, okay.
Nope.
Damn.
No leather. I don't own a single piece of leather. No shoes ever. No belts ever. No wallets ever. No, ever.
Okay. What are your alternatives? Are there any sort of leather animals?
Yeah. It's basically plastic. I mean, when you think about it, it's like a type of plastic, but it's just kind of it's called faux leather. Those exist. Yeah, my car, like belt seats, no leather. It's not like a leather like seated car thing. No?
Are the alternatives in terms of what the quality of them, are they close to leather?
Yeah, but they're probably not actually as good. I mean, I'd assume. I mean, it does seem like it's you probably could tell it's synthetic. Like that's.
I wonder how they're getting along with, I was going to say siphonic wheat for some reason.
Siphonic wheat?
Yeah, no. Synthetic meat.
Oh, yeah. So
how that's getting along. What'd you say? You cut out.
So I know a lot about that. Synthetic meat. Basically, it turned out to be a complete like scam. So I have a playlist called Lab Grown Meat Hype. All about the people saying that meat will be grown in a lab. Is it ethical? Is that something we can do? One of the main companies that was trying to do this went bankrupt, and the guy kind of explained that it's not something that can be done at scale or for like low prices. And there's a lot of problems in that if there's any amount of contamination, you end up creating products that are not just like not tasty, but like dangerous. Like there was several instances where like rat feces got in these cultures, and like they created essentially these poison burgers, like by trying to grow it. And so there's a lot of like, you know, it's kind of really like a fine edge of producing this stuff, and they can produce a burger using a small amount of veal. So like, you know, a veal is a calf that has been kept in a kind of a box, fed only grain, and then killed. So it's like as supple and, you know, tender as possible. And so they take a small amount of veal and then they put it in a culture and they can grow a burger in about a week for about $6,000. And that was the best they were able to get in terms of reliably producing a burger. One burger for $6,000 and they're still killing an animal. So lab grown meat has been a complete scam and a complete failure. And it's mainly about telling people like, no, you can still eat meat and feel happy about it. Like you can still do everything that you've been doing and everything's fine. Like that's totally okay. And so not only is it not economically possible, logistically possible, chemically possible, biologically possible, it's not like ethically different than just eating animals. In fact, you're wasting a ton of resources on a really vanity driven project of trying to distance yourself from the suffering you're inflicting on animals instead of being an adult about it and recognizing that of course you do because you need to eat, but probably there's ways to do it that are less harmful, like buying eggs that aren't in factory farms and are more local, or getting stuff at the farmers market, or kind of more ethically valid approaches to getting food. That's doable. But people instead wanted a sci-fi world where you could put a little bit of meat in a vat and it just pops burgers out, and that is never gonna happen.
That sounds really cool. Putting meat in a
yeah, like look at these hype videos. Like, these are hype videos. Like
we need to talk about meat. Unless you're
doing.
practicing vegan or vegetarian.
Is that what meat looks like in America? That's interesting.
Like cows, pigs, and chickens.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm not here to judge your eating habits. I'm addicted to the taste of flesh.
I'm gonna head off, guys, by the way.
All right.
Okay.
Back to the dinner.
Ciao.
See ya. Livestock raised for food makes up about 14 to 18% of our greenhouse gas emissions, and the land requirements to grow their food.
Wow, just having your head sticking out like that.
Oh yeah, that's all it is.
Beefcake and eat it too. As researchers from Harvard just announced they've developed a technique that brings realistic lab-grown meat one step closer to the dinner.
From Harvard already.
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah, that's how you know it's real. Yeah. You just see one of these top
steak or shredded pork or chicken. You've seen what I'm talking about. Mimicking that fiber structure has been a huge challenge for lab-grown meat. You can't grow muscle cells like that.
Yeah, we need a 2x at least.
Something to hold on to as they grow.
Yeah.
So the researchers set out to find a material they could use to grow their cells in 3D. The material had to be edible, something the cells could easily latch onto, and cheap enough to produce to keep costs down. The scientists settled on gelatin, and they spun it into fibers using a technique inspired by cotton candy. The finished product is similar to these.
Doesn't he mean jelly?
Natural muscle tissues. With their gelatin nanofiber spun, the researchers tried to grow
no, like the
finished products did not contain as many muscle fibers as natural meat.
gelatin, like the
real thing. Now, don't go thinking lab-made beef is what's for dinner. There are a number of other
gelatin's the powder.
For example,
yeah, but it's also like once you let it emulsify and it like settles and like then there's that jelly kind of structure from the gelatin kind of thing. No, but like in America we call that gelatin, even though it's because it's a byproduct of gelatin. But you're right, it is jelly like this.
Most common being fetal bovine serum, or FBS. FBS is harvested from the fetuses of slaughtered pregnant cows. It's very expensive, and most lab-grown meat techniques rely on large quantities of it. So
don't you call jam jelly?
Yeah.
Call it strawberry jelly. It's interesting.
Yeah, called strawberry jelly. Yeah.
Cells in a lab that mesh with muscle and recreate the texture state has proven to be a challenge. And to get cells to reach maturity, we're still searching for better sources of stem cells. But even if these technical issues are all solved, the finished product may be only slightly less damaging to the environment than raising livestock. Because of the energy lab-grown meat takes to manufacture, growing all our steaks and burgers in a dish may cut greenhouse gas emissions from beef by as little as 7%, and actually produce about 4 to 5 times more greenhouse gas emissions than pork. So lab-made meat is still
I can't believe that.
appetizing, cheap, and eco-friendly. It may still face challenges from the powerful livestock.
Those cages were minuscule.
Oh yeah, tiny.
Oh, I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah. Especially in America, it's really bad.
I was
like
particularly acute over there in terms of the bad effects.
So just the farm industry is incredibly powerful here, and the practices and like what they're fed, how they're fed, how they're killed, how the meat is processed, all of the standards for that are far lower in America than they are in the EU or the UK. There's actually a big scandal in this in the UK where the US is now able to send this like bleached chicken to the UK. Yep. Yeah. So that's an example of this. But like in America, that's just standard. That's not like that's a scandalous thing. We're lowering the quality of the chicken. It's like, no, you're just allowed to chlorinate chicken. Like that's just something you do. And like when they feed, like what they feed these animals, a lot of it's just straight up trash. Like they'll just literally take bread and put it in a blender, like in the bag. They're taking like like just stale bread in the bag and just cutting it up into this kind of powder and just feeding them microplastics, feeding them like just the most disgusting stale like shit, because the cheaper it is to feed them, the more that each unit is profitable, right? The less you spend to feed them, the more that each unit is making more money for you. It's just like basic economics. And so as a result, and the fact of low regulations and the fact that American companies can just bribe politicians and there's no illegalities, yeah, the standards for meat in America, the factory farm conditions are just like substantially worse than any other country like in the world.
Substantially worse. I can't believe that. I would have not. I would just assume that.
They also use prison labor. Like prisoners are often told that they can have a thing called work release, which is that as long as they work at a job where they're not getting paid, they are not able to be a prisoner. And so they can be out of prison as long as they work. They have these prisoners at these meat factories and they're just getting fucked up. They're losing fingers. They haven't trained for this job. And so yeah, the conditions even for the workers are terrible at these places too. It's not just that the animals are being fucked over. It's like the people who work there are like being abused too. So
you can't be too happy with the what do you call it, the meat eaters.
But they have no idea about this stuff. Like most people, literally, it's not the people who eat meat that is the problem. It's literally the industry that does this that enables them to not care, right? Like people don't see a cow and a burger as the same thing. They see a burger as something that's given to them, and they see a cow as something that they,
name,
you know, yeah, it's a different thing. And like, there's an example. It's like, why do pigs have or horses have hooves instead of feet, right? Like, why do we call the different parts of bodies in animals that we eat different than like animals we, don't like? We call it hide instead of like, their fur and like their, so there's just all these ways in which we distance ourselves from knowing that this is happening. And people are just trying to live their lives. Like I genuinely don't judge any individuals for these things. I will say there are people who take an active pleasure in how much they eat meat and how much they love killing animals. Like they do this because if you say like you're a vegetarian, people will tell you like, I could never do that. I love bacon so much. I fucking love bacon. I'll kill as many pigs as I need to get bacon. And it's like it's another cope. Again, on some level, they recognize that like I'm right and that what they're doing is unethical. And they think that by embracing it and claiming to, oh, I know it's unethical and I fucking love it even more. I love the taste of the pain. Like they can be too edgy to be criticized. But again, all this is just fundamentally coping, and people usually don't have a choice of what they eat and like where it comes from. So
do you think that vegetarians are sort of like the gay people of eating? In terms of when you were describing that conversation, it was sort of when you tell some people that you're gay, they do have that response where, well, I could never sleep with a man. I just love women too much.
Yeah, I love pussy so fucking much, bro. I could never do anything on the pussy. Like, no, and it's just a chud. It's a meathead response. It's like a meatheaded response, right? Like
that's
it's
really funny. That
right?
coincides with what they also.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's just like it's very one dimensional, and again, it's like those people bother me, but they're not the reason why meat is like as dominant as it is. Like that's a economic, social, industrial thing. Like so.
Really, I would have put way more blame onto meat eaters. I know vegan gains is.
Oh, they do.
What'd you say?
They are. Oh, vegan gain is a jihadist. He's a jihadist type figure in this. I know who that is. And he's much more of a crusade holy war against the meat eaters type guy. Like
I like vegan gains. I like how he channels so much curiosity towards meat eaters because what he's saying is absolutely correct. It is absolutely disgusting, and it is like being a Nazi. It really is at least somewhat adjacent to being a Nazi.
In the sense of not asking questions and just following orders. Yeah, like definitely like that's.
Yeah, I think
in that sense, like you're just allowing a holocaust of these animals 100%. Like that's I also believe that.
Yeah, so I'm definitely a lot more judgment. I mean, I'm a meat eater myself, but the fact that I just refuse to believe that people don't ask those questions because I definitely do. I definitely do find it repulsive. I'm just sort of just haven't committed to any sort of vegan diet.
It's not necessarily healthier for people too. I will say, like one of the mistakes that gets made with veganism is like not eating meat is therefore healthy, but a lot of people end up doing is just eating sugary like shit and like not, and you have to take supplements. Like you can't. There are things you need. Like I have to take iron supplements because otherwise I'm like anemic. I don't have like enough like iron in my diet to like make my blood iron content high. And So like there are downsides to it too. And also I will say attaching this judgment to people, I'm able to do this because I live in a place next to the fruit like basket of America. Like most fruit in the country, a lot of it comes from a place about 40 minutes from me. So I have access to some of the freshest, tastiest veggies that exist in the country. And so on top of that, I have a family that are wealthy enough to pay for this diet, which isn't like as cheap as eating meat. So at that level, I'm like, I'm not judgmental of a lot of people who don't have the means, don't have the infrastructure, and are like living in cold ass places with no veggies. Like it would be tough to be vegan in Minnesota or Canada because there's so much of your diet is gonna be cheese and like dairy products and like stuff that can be made around you, right? So, and then how much more ethical is it to have your fucking veggies shipped from Argentina? Like how much more environmentally friendly is it if you're having your veggies shipped on a fucking boat and then a plane from Argentina? Like, I don't know. So
yeah, I think it's the lack of thought though. I think that
definitely
the excess in meat doesn't seem necessary to me. I don't think there needs to be so much excess in meat and there's that people do revel in it in a sense.
They love it, yeah.
There is no whoa, this is an animal. There's none of that thought. So a complete vegan diet is incredibly unrealistic to me. Not that I would even want to do a complete lack of animal suffering just because of all the I do have dietary concerns. That's why I haven't committed to that. And plus there are just other concerns too with types of clothes I wear too. Not that I'm interested in any sort of super exploitative stuff. I'm not a fashion savant or anything, so I don't care about that. That's easy to sacrifice, but it's definitely the I think there is a lack of thought of what's on your plate and everything, and it's so to me it's so obvious because I've said this for a while now that just with how accessible the internet is, there are a lot of videos of people just saying stuff. I mean, Vegan Gains, a lot of people know who Vegan Gains is. The fact that you're not thinking about these things, even though people are telling it right to your face. It's right in your face. I don't know how much I buy the whole, at least you could have a diminished meat diet, I think.
Oh, definitely. That's what I think is so interesting is like people treat it as if it has to be an all or nothing thing. And I'll also say like vegetarians, they're not just not eating meat. They're also usually like, I don't want to get shit in a sweatshop kind of thing. Like they're not trying to get like, exploitative migrant labor. Like they are thinking about where they're getting their chocolate from. Is it a child slave situation? You're getting shit from Hershey's, or is it a fair trade? Like there's records and documents of who's making it. It's not kids, right? Like people who are vegetarian tend to think more about this stuff for sure. I definitely think that. Definitely a lack of thought for a lot of people. I got really into fur maxing. People in the 90s, especially fur maxing. People in the 90s.
Wait, hold on. Hold that for
wearing
5 seconds.
Got it.